So today, in part 4 of the Napoleon III Boule style cabinet, we're going to be repairing the base section, ebonising it in titanium black oxide, blonde shellac, and we will be adding 24 karat gold to the mouldings. Now these bows, brass bows that are on the corners, we have noticed that one of them has been put on a centimetre lower than the other one on the other side. We will mark them anyway, and you can just see how rough the finish is as well underneath those bows and around them. It's going to take a lot to flatten and polish all that black veneer. And we're just taking out the little nails, which are quite rusty. Been in there a long time. And you can see on the right there, we've got to make that curved piece of brass as well, which is missing on both sides and the front. And we've got some straight sections to make as well. Now, we're not really sure what was going on in this corner, but there's definitely been some shrinkage. And with the brass or the bronze, it doesn't shrink. It has left a bit of space at that side. But we will cut a new piece or a new platform on the corner there. But first we will remove the bronze frieze work, the embossed frieze. And we will be adding 24 karat gold to the frieze as well. But the base is in really bad condition. The finish is pitted everywhere. It's like it's been shot peened. It's going to take a lot of filling. Now I could get a vacuum cleaner, but I'll just use a brush, a lot quicker. Just get rid of all that old dust. Now we've got it underside, and we can see something has been going on here. The original support block is missing, and they've glued on some new blocks. I'm not really sure what was going on there, but the door was broken, so maybe it's got something to do when it was dropped. Which we think this piece was dropped, and it was repaired later, as you can see in the first video. They didn't exactly glue everything on where it should have been. Now these, like castle columns, they are very loose. All the hide glue has dried up. And we've got a big split here, and they've just put some screws in temporarily. And yeah, we'll clean all the hide glue off anyway, and we'll re-glue this back in place where it's meant to be. And the channel at the bottom, the moustache sort of shape brass strip that we have to bend and put in there. We'll clean that channel out as well, and we will re-glue these back legs on because the glue has dried up on those as well. I'll just tap a little piece of wood into the crack, and we'll tighten that up so that won't move again. And I'll get my utility blade, which I use a lot, just to tidy that up. Now these support blocks that were added previously, we'll remove those. And we'll remove the one above it as well. And that will give us a little bit of play where we can clamp and glue that corner castle piece in. So now we've got a bit of play there. When we drop our leg in, we can just clamp that in nice and tight with our new hide glue. So we'll glue this corner in place. Plenty of glue. And we'll just slide her in. And we've got some nice new fresh glue on that joint. Make sure she's sitting nice and level so we can get our brass on there. And we will re-glue our support block now in the correct position. Now the other side, the only thing that was literally holding this on was the brass frieze, and they've put nails in the side. It's very loose. Now we have to get that piece off so we can glue it. So we'll try and get these nails out. Again, they're quite rusty, they've been in there a long time. I have a hacksaw blade here, which I'm just cutting the nail. The nail we can't get out. And some hot water we'll just put under this little half moon shaped platform and just try and dissolve the glue underneath it so we can get that piece off. Just keep coming back every 5-10 minutes, just keep putting more hot water in there until it melts. This hide glue will dissolve with warm water. And then we've got our little platform off, and then we can now get our leg off. Which again, we'll just clean it all up and we'll re-glue it in place. Now we have got a piece of marble as well, so that we get it nice and level. We're just pulling out that last nail that we couldn't get before. And we're using hide glue again for our joints. Now we do put a piece of marble down when we're doing these platform bases. Quite often these cabinets do sit on marble floors, and we don't want to glue this and then find that it's not going to sit level. So we use a nice piece of marble, and we know that we're going to get a nice, it's going to sit nice and flat on the floor. I just got a furniture tie here with a screwdriver, turned it around a few times, so we've got some pressure holding those corners in, and we'll just let that dry. Now we do have to bend our brass again. The one on the front is shaped like a moustache, so we've got to come one way, then go the other way, and then back the other way again. And they're quite tight, the turns. So we're just sort of trying to guesstimate, I suppose, where the brass is going to need to be bent, but this corner here really curls up quite a lot. And I don't think we're going to be able to do that in the roller. And the brass is very, very brittle. It's very springy. It's not giving at all. So even though we keep trying to bend it, it just keeps bending back to where it was, and we're just putting a twist in it, and it's no way is it going to sit in there. So we will anneal the brass. Annealing is heating the brass up so it's a sort of greyish red colour, and then just letting it cool down, and that should make the brass a lot softer and more malleable. We definitely need a new pair of snips. So now that we have annealed that brass, it is a lot more malleable, and we can definitely bend it a lot easier, and we can get our shape now that we are looking for. Some people do cut the brass out of a sheet. You can do it that way as well. So it has taken quite a lot of hammering on the anvil and bending to get the shape that we want, but we've pretty much got it there now. Now these corners are close, but they just don't quite match, so we will have to take a little bit more off the mitre here with a file. So I just run a piece of masking tape along where we want to file, and then just file it down, and then we'll get a nice tight fit in that corner. And the other side's just a 45 degree, which is a bit easier. So we've just about got our front section done now, and we will glue this in place. So we've got our glue for that end piece, and then the moustache, which did take us quite a long time to get this piece the shape we wanted. This base is turning out to be even more work than the actual door that we repaired, and the finish is terrible. You can just see there on that column, it's just got pits everywhere. It's like the surface of the moon, literally. And it's going to take a lot of filling. And these pieces usually are worse at the bottom. They tend to get hit more at the bottom, and the ground is more moist down there as well. That's why you tend to see the veneer always lifting at the bottom of these sort of pieces as well. It is quite a tight fit, so we just got to make sure we lift the ends up so we get it sitting nice and flush. And now we use plastic blocks. Plastic generally does not stick to hide glue, so you don't want to do this with wood. We use plastic, and then I wait for about an hour, come back, and then just take the plastic off. Just give them a little wipe, wipes the glue off, and then clamp them down and leave them for 24 hours. We just want to make sure that we get that brass sitting as level as we can to the black pear wood veneer. So we finally have our first piece in the front. And we've cut our piece for the side. We've got both pieces that are bent that were missing on the sides as well, and we've got a piece at the top that we've had to cut as well that was missing. There has been quite a lot of brass missing on this cabinet. Now we will glue in our top piece of brass, the top strip, and the strip on the left hand side first. So we have our top strip and side strip clamped in place now, which we'll leave for 24 hours, and then we will clamp and glue our bottom strip in, which has been another 24 hours, and we're taking these off now, and we finally have our brass in. And it was, you have to cut the brass exactly the same shape as the groove that they've originally carved. So even though I haven't filmed everything, it is a very time consuming process. And now we have the good old packing tape, which people put on boxes, and it has the worst glue you could imagine, and we really don't want to start lifting the veneer. We have to get our heat gun out and get some heat into it, and I would say this has been on here for 30 years probably. The glue has just gone rock hard. My fingers are getting very hot. We're slowly getting it off. But at least we still have the brass piece, so we can thank them for that. Some alcohol, just rub off that glue. And then we have that bottom section, the curved section that we have to prepare and make again. We'll glue in our top section and our side section. And we have cleaned out the channels as well, so we get a nice clean tight bond. And we have that clamped in place. And now this is how we bend our brass. We did anneal this brass as well, so we make it more malleable so we can bend it. It takes a little bit of practice, and sometimes you can bend them in the wrong place. And then we have to hammer out the kinks, and then we have to bend it again and hammer out the kinks, and do that a few times until we get the shape that we want. And we just file our miters at 45. And we've just about got that bent into shape now. We've just got to do our last miter here. And you can see the condition of the black finish. It is terrible. So we'll glue that into place. But before we do that, we'll get our file and we'll just rough up the back. This helps adhere the glue to the wood. Just scuff it up. And that's the third curvy piece that we've had to make for the base. And there's a little bit of veneer that's flaked up there. We'll glue that in while we're doing this as well. Plenty of squeeze out with the glue. And we'll put on our plastic blocks again, which we use because hide glue tends not to stick to plastic. Or if it does stick, you'll still be able to get the blocks off without doing too much damage. But don't use wood, whatever you do. Got to make sure that we get it nice and flat, and using the tight bond hide glue just gives us a much bigger window where we can take a little bit more time to get everything clamped properly. So we've got all the brass in on the base. We've got it glued now as well, so it's a lot firmer, a lot stronger. We're going to cut the corner, so we've got a new platform on this side here. We'll just scribe around our brass so we get the shape that we want, and that can go in the bin. We just cut it out. Now we are building the layers up of black polish, which we've used blonde shellac and titanium black oxide, but we're not going to film all that on here. You can see how we add the black in the previous video, but we have had to buy some more 24 karat gold so we can do the frieze, and we've got to do those bows as well. So we are using the genuine gold leaf, which is really hard to put on as well. It's a lot harder than the fake stuff. And we just keep cutting back our layers until we fill all the pits and holes. Now we have done 14 coats of shellac on this. That's how many coats it took to fill all the craters and dents. There are still a few small ones, but we can't do everything. So there she is. Part 4, we have the base done just about now. We will put those mouldings on at the end. The next video we will be tackling the top and the sides, so stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.